address the number one public safety concern facing the state of California, realignment. As a former prosecutor, I want to make sure that our local law enforcement agencies have the necessary tools to keep our families and our neighborhoods safe.
Assembly Bill 810 calls for the statewide and local law enforcement officials to work together to create a statewide intercounty criminal offender database.
Currently, no centralized criminal offender database exists for local law enforcement use. So if a released inmate moves from one county to another, local police departments lack the critical information necessary on the offender because no centralized database is available to them.
What this means to the cop on the street is when you come across somebody that's a part of this population, you can get on your computer in the car, find out where he's from, what he's released for, what his history is about, and ultimately serve our communities better. Prior to realignment, we had a statewide data system to monitor and keep track of our parolees. It was called Parole Leads. It was accessible by law enforcement personnel in the field, at the stations, wherever they needed. And it was critical to identifying our parolees and keeping track of where they're at. Now imagine, move forward to AB 109, and you have 58 counties implementing realignment, potentially 58 different ways, with 58 different disparate systems for maintaining data and tracking our post-release community supervised population.
This is a first step. It's not going to cost a lot of money, but my own personal view is that we should allocate the resources back into the system with supervision, parole, and other kinds of contacts over these men and women that are released to protect all of the residents, all of the citizens of California.
This database will allow local law enforcement throughout the state to share information and track offenders being released from state prisons and county jails.
I live in the South Bay, and while I'm up in Sacramento, my wife and daughter are here in Torrance, and I'm very concerned that as we're going through this realignment system and criminals are being released early and without adequate supervision, that some folks might be coming into my family's neighborhood or your family's neighborhood. And so we want to make sure that our local law enforcement have the tools necessary to keep tabs on these criminals.
AB 810 is an important step toward creating this database. We need to give local law enforcement the support they need to deal with prison realignment.